So The Flash had an episode that I just missed because somehow I forgot. Who knows? I don't know. So I was looking through the list of shows. I guess I need to do a Flash video. What did he do lately? And I said, oh, what's this? And the odd thing about it, it's not that bad of an episode. If they did more of these, it'd be in a little better shape. It still have a lot of flaws in it and problems. But The Curious Case of Bartholomew Allen is an actual Flash episode. It has a stupid interlude in it that's just as boring as all get out. Poor Daddy Joe is depressed about being retired and old and feeling left out because he just wasn't into role-playing games like the rest of the crew. You know, I mean, that's not really a reason to start you off onto obsessing about your aging and mortality and everything. I mean, doesn't he have like cop buddies that are also retired and they can, I don't know, play poker or something? It's just... But anyway, of course, at the end, he comes around and puts on a wizard suit and joins the game, so it's okay. Yeah, well, whatever. So anyway, this one introduces a villain for one show, I'm assuming, unless somehow he comes back. I don't know. But it's a mad scientist. You know, it's just, if they did more of these one-off things, they'd probably be in a lot better shape. They just don't have the ability to do it, apparently. And it's sad. If only there had been, I don't know, decades of comic books to refer to. But I don't know. They just can't find them. So anyway, this guy is experimenting with some sort of radiation. It's probably absolutely impossible, so who cares? It doesn't matter. And he's causing a disturbance, and the Flash shows up to put a stop to him, and there's this eruption, and the mad scientist is laughing at him. Enjoy your time while you still have it, Flash. And then doesn't know what that means, but he goes back to Star Labs, and they do a checkup on him, and he suddenly has the physiology or the metabolism of an older man. And they say, oh, wow, you've got arthritis, your cholesterol is up, all that stuff. And he's like, what? And so they realized his exposure to whatever this radiation was took some years from him. So after a while, he's like, oh, this is Barry Allen rapidly aging. And then they discover that every time he uses his speed, it exacerbates the situation. So it increases the amount of aging he does. So he would quickly run out of time due to his condition. They don't really do a whole lot. I was thinking they were going to, but they couldn't really afford the makeup, I guess. So they put a little gray in his hair. And then other things, he gets scared because he's feeling feeble and stuff because his mental faculties are failing him and all this type of stuff, which leads into the other interlude, which is inevitable because it's the rinse, lather, repeat, paint by numbers template of CW. So they're in the hallway. So Barry and Cecile is there to comfort him. Because for whatever reason, I guess Candace Patton just can't stand any more of this show. Because you can see it in the episode. It looks like it's painful for her to do it. She's bored out of her mind, perhaps even more so than Grant Gustin. And so says they got Cecile to do her Iris's lines, which is odd because she's now his stepmother. So. But whatever. He said, don't worry, Barry, you're strong, you can do this, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I feel weak and lost, and all this sort of stuff. But eventually they come around, and the only thing that can stop the mad scientist is Barry's speed, so he's got to make the sacrifice, apparently, and they're like, okay, Barry, whatever. No, they say, oh, no, Barry, well, that's all we can do. Okay. So it turns out the scientist, the reason he's doing this is because he's actually much older than he looks because he's found a way to rejuvenate himself, but it's at the cost of other people. So basically he's sapping the youth of other people. And to complete it all, I guess, he needs to do it to the entire city. So he's going to set off his, I don't know, aging bomb or whatever. And he's just about to do it. The Flash shows up. He can barely stand up. And the guy's laughing at him and everything. But they figured if they overcharge the device, it'll cancel it out, and it won't be able to, to kill everybody in the city. So Barry has to run at super duper speed around and around the device. So he does, but as he's doing it, he's aging rapidly. So there they do some CGI where you see him aging. And that's sort of a callback to Crisis on Infinite Earths number 8, where Barry Allen sacrificed himself to save the universe as it sapped his life away as he did it. But in here, the reverse is true. After the eruption happens, it reverses magically, what happened to Barry. And after all the smoke clears, the mad scientist is back to being a feeble old man. He's like, so he's got to go spend what's left of his life in prison. So there you go. How about that, huh? But all in all, just that basic idea. There's a villain. He's up to no good. The Flash has to deal with it. It'd be a lot better with more of those. But again, it's obvious they don't have the skill and ability to craft it, even though there's plenty of source material from them to do so. Even here, I'm guessing they knew that this was a nod to the Crisis on Infinite Earth scene. But anyway, it's just a shame. And you can still craft your arcs and subplots that lead to something else, that sort of thing. But the episodic nature of a series like this, especially for a superhero adventure and whatnot, would go a long way in helping the show. But it's just too late. And again, they don't have the ability. Otherwise, we would have seen more of it. So it's kind of odd that this is the one I missed, and just by chance I caught the list of shows on the CW thingy, and I was like, oh, gee, I wonder how could I have missed that. So and then it happens to be one of the better ones, which says almost nothing because the show is, just a faded, pale shadow of its former self, and it's unfortunate. But anyway, so there we go. An episode, and it's better than the latest one where I said the man with the yellow tie was probably one of their better ones, and it, all in all, it was. This one's probably a little better than that. So there you go. That's 2 episodes out of a season. That was not too bad, but again, doesn't say much.